We live in a time when information is easily accessible. We have at our disposal an incredible amount of knowledge, literally at our fingertips. And yet, at the same moment, our world seems to be plagued with fake news, alternative facts, and algorithms deciding what we read and see. If we're not careful, we can end up in some sort of echo chamber that sends us back what we already believe. With this new reality, it has become difficult to discern who's telling the truth and who's lying. Last week, I preached on the book of Leviticus. Today, it's Deuteronomy. And maybe someone watching wonders if those biblical texts really exist, or I just made it up. This whole social climate makes me think of the movie The Matrix. In a nutshell, the main character of this film is an actor played by Keanu Reeves that believes there's something wrong with this world, but cannot put the finger on it. And so you meet this strange character played by Lawrence Fishburne that try to explain what is the Matrix, but it's still difficult to understand. So the character of Keanu Reeves, Neo, has to make a choice. So let's watch a clip of this movie.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The Matrix.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Follow me.
Choosing between the blue pill or the red pill. Choosing between the arch truth or a reassuring lie. Choosing between what is right or what is easier. As strange as it may seem, this capacity to choose one option over the other is one of the building blocks of our free societies. Our ancestors have fought so today we can elect our government, move freely across this land, or decide our religious affiliation or none. From important decisions like a career to the most mundane ones like the size of a cup of coffee, we have the right to choose, and our choices have a deep impact on our existence. When we make a good one, usually our lives improve and we gain some benefit from it. And in the same way, bad choices bring generally more problem, hardship, and difficulties. Oh, we may like to blame our work, family, age, upbringing, church. The fact remains that in the wide majority of situations, we're the one who decide which path we follow. And this is the main message Moses tried to convey to his people in today's passage from the book of Deuteronomy, which really exists in your Bible. This ancient biblical text is built around 3 very long sermons Moses supposedly delivered to his people just before their entrance into the long-expected promised land. After highlighting everything that God has done for 40 years, the 40 years they spent in the wilderness, Moses makes a final appeal. As they're about to walk into the land given to their ancestor Abraham, the people of God have to choose the core values that will define their new existence on the other side of the Jordan. They can pick life by following God's way and commandments, or they can choose death by focusing on adversity and conflicts. The choice is theirs to make, but they must decide. As Master Yoda famously tells Luke Skywalker, do or do not, there is no try. Of course, as we listen to this passage today, I'm assuming that all of us, presented with the same question, would choose life over death. Usually, people in their full possession of their faculty do not select what can bring negative outcomes. We desire the best for us, our loved ones, our community. However, this option is not necessarily easy as it seems, because it requires more than sitting back in our lazy boy and enjoying the fruits of our wise decision. Choosing life means keeping God's commands in everything we do. Choosing life comes with an understanding that our whole existence has to be anchored in God's ways everywhere we go. Choosing life often requires to give to the poor, fight for justice, care for the hurting, treat others fairly, share with the less fortunate, and have the courage to accomplish whatever it takes to make a difference in this world. 50 years ago, some people living in this neighborhood got together to form a community we call today Kanata United Church. And for many years, they met at a community center and in schools. They were active in their community. They focused on outreach. They laughed and had a great time together. I heard many funny anecdotes that should be collected and put together. And then come the moment when they had to decide if they should erect a building. They have to choose between two clear and different options. And from what I've been told, it was not an easy process. There were many meetings and consultations. Oh, the choice was theirs, but they had to decide. And eventually, $500,000 was borrowed. The construction lasts approximately 2 years. And on February 22nd, 1987, this church was dedicated to the glory and mission of God. Doug Erd once told me that when he was ministering at Kanata United Church, he has been asked if he had a church. And his answer was yes. And then after a few seconds, he followed up with, "Oh, do you mean if we have a building?" What's a church? This morning we sang, "The church is wherever God's people are." Yes, we are the church of God. We are Kanata United Church, and these walls and this roof that sometimes leak are the visible representation of a group that collectively choose life over death. Because you see, during the past 30 years, 436 people has been baptized in this sanctuary. During the same time, we celebrated the life and memory of 198 individuals and 6 during just the few months of this building. Over 30 years, people have tried to understand how to follow God through sermon, prayers, Sunday school programs, and group studies. Over 30 years, activities like our book fair, was beginning in just a few minutes, has created connection between members of our congregation, either in the portable or during one very busy weekend. Over 30 years, groups from our community like the Girls Guide, Al-Anon, Music School, Camp Awesome, Chinese after-school program have found space and a warm welcome here. The bricks, the studs, the shingles that make up this building has become, through the year, a source of life for a whole community. And my friend, it ain't over. Oh no. As Moses tried to explain to his people a long time ago, choosing life is not a once-in-a-lifetime event good forever. This decision is not the end of the process, but just the beginning of a journey. Each year, each day, each moment of our lives, we are confronted with many decisions. We are constantly asked to support one cause or another, to select music we will play, to discern our priorities for the next few years, to repair a building or to sell it, to decide between the blue pill or the red pill, to choose life or death. And unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you, that this process does not get easier with time. And because we're a human being, we make mistakes. Oh yes. Sometimes we make the wrong decision for all the wrong reasons. However, the good news in all of this is that we can always start again. Yesterday's bad choices do not have to be a burden we carry for the rest of our lives. Every moment contains hope for a new beginning and the opportunity to make a better decision. Regardless of the circumstances or the perspective of the future, we still have choice in front of us. Before entering into the promised land, the people of God were reminded by Moses that they have to choose, not necessarily between two abstract options, but between two lifestyles. And this choice was the same 50 years ago, 30 years ago, and it's still the same today. In front of us, there's life and everything that comes with it. There's also death and everything that comes with it. And amen.